Jason, you're up next, partner. Before we get started, guys, I got a little commercial for you as one of our sponsors. You guys know who they are. We got Base Coat Marketing, full service marketing partner for painters. Look at these reviews. This is a great company to work with. Austin and his team go above and beyond to make sure your needs are met. They have helped our business marketing and leads grow significantly. They're experts in the field. Another cool one here, Base Coat Marketing handles so many things we need to do and just don't have the time. So, guys, we have this free event here, and the people who we are sponsoring are kind enough to contribute to either the marketing of the event, or they put together some creatives for us, or they just, invested in some way and kind of donated to it. So this is why we're doing little mini shout outs to these companies. Can't say enough about Austin and his team. And of course, I will mention that they do my ads, which they've been doing a great job. So Jason, you ready to rock, my friend?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you are, man. You got the coolest background. It's so good to see you, Jason. I'm going to give you an intro here. In a second, let me just stop sharing the screen here. All right, so guys, listen, we got Jason Phillips. If you don't know who Jason Phillips is, he's going to be somebody that just like me, you wind up looking up to. He's kind of like what I see as a father figure of the industry. He's coming in with all of his knowledge that he's garnished over the years. I'm not sure if he's going to dive into his story, but it's super inspirational. He's grown such a beautiful business, and not only that, he's just kept values. He's kept character. He's kept his faith at the forefront of what he's built. Follow him on Facebook, follow him on wherever you can find him. He's also leading the way with Contractor Freedom. They're starting to do some live events, which we've just heard so much great feedback from. So Jason, thank you for being a part of this. I know you're busy running a $10 million plus operation, and I'm not trying to offend you. I don't know the exact number. I just know it's up there. But I know that you're going to find a way to simplify it for us so we can get there too. So I'm going to let you take over, my good friend. And guys, you're in for a treat here. Stick through it all the way. And Jason's going to do a Q&A after. I want to prepare you guys. Get on the audio. It's so much more impactful when we hear the question rather than reading it off. So Jason, it's all yours, my friend.
Wow. Thank you, Tanner, for such an amazing introduction. And hey, guys, can we just hear for Mike? Man, Mike's presentation was super fantastic. And I saw you guys hitting the questions and the comments in there. And that was some really good stuff. And you got all of that. You got all of that for free. How about that? So, hey, guys, I'll tell you guys a little bit about me in just a moment. But I want to take you on a quick little journey. Okay. Would you just imagine something with me for just a moment? Imagine that you're on a boat off the southern tip of South Africa in those shark-infested waters, and you're in one of those shark diving cages, and there's bars on all four sides, bars on the floor, bars up above your head, and that cage is not in the water, but it's hanging from the crane off the boat, and it's slowly descending into the water. And the water rises up past your ankles, past your knees, to your waist, to your chest, and to your neck. And then you realize you don't have any scuba equipment. You don't have a tank. You don't have anything to breathe with. And so as that water continues to go up, you're like turning your head, trying to just continue to suck air as that cage pushes your head down into the water. And not only are you're locked in this cage that's supposed to keep the sharks out, but it's really keeping you in, and it's pushing you underwater, and it's about to suck your breath away. Friends, about a year and a half, 2 years after I started my business, that's how I felt about my business. I felt like I was in a cage, and it was sinking, and it was sucking my breath away, my life away. The very thing that I thought was going to make my life so much better had become a monster, and it was terrible. And I talk to guys all the time, pretty much every day, that can relate. A while back, I talked to guys that, Jason, this is the business I prayed for. But man, I don't know I can't keep doing this. I can't keep doing this. Now let's switch to another picture. I want you to imagine that 1 year from now, you're running not only a successful painting business, but it's also fueling your life's passions and not just your bills. Fueling your life's passions and your retirement. And, your team isn't just a group of employees, but they're like a motivated, unifying force that are working towards accomplishing your vision. And friends, this isn't just some dream. It's a true destination. Today, I just want to give you the roadmap on how to get there, on what I did. I've made so many mistakes. I've been in this business for over 2 decades. I've made a lot of mistakes, been through a lot of, political and financial storms that we've had. I've weathered a lot of things. I've done a lot of things right. I've done a lot of things wrong. And the one thing that I'm hoping is that at the end of this call, you'll be able to stand on my shoulders and reach higher than what I've reached. And again, I say call. This is an amazing 2-day event. And I hope that you are taking notes. I really hope you're taking notes from every presentation that you're attending, because you are getting a fire hydrant of water flooded on you of knowledge and wisdom and insights. And boiling that down to the most important things is going to be cute. It's going to be absolutely key. Now, maybe you're here today, and maybe you just started. Maybe you're just doing a few $100,000. Maybe you're doing $1 million. Maybe you're doing several $1 million in annual revenue. And you might be here looking for growth, or, hey, here's an industry term, scale your business, as we always hear, right? But maybe you're on the other side. Maybe you're like, man, that doesn't appeal to me. I don't want to grow my business. I've got enough headaches as is. I just want to get my life back. I want my time back. I'm sick of being a slave to my business. I'm sick of missing out on, my kids' events, t-ball games, recitals, dinners, birthday parties, weekends. I talk to painters all the time who say, no, I've worked every holiday since I've been in business. I don't ever take off a holiday. And that just blows my mind. I worked one holiday back in the day. It was July 4th. And I say I worked. It was, I hopped on my motorcycle and I drove, a few blocks away, and I punched out a project. I guess I called that working. And I'm like, man, I don't want to ever do this again. I need to be out with my family. My business is supposed to fuel my life, not the other way around. So, regardless of whether, you're here looking for, answers, you're looking for answers to your marketing, to your sales problems, maybe your recruiting, your people problems, your other business problems. There's all of those things. But I believe that if you're here listening today, and we've got a whole lot of people tuning in right now, you're looking for answers, you're looking for wisdom, you're looking for strategy and practical steps that you can take to improve your life and your business this year. But I don't want you to get stuck in the trap that, hey, I've got to grow my business. Your business may be fine at the size it is. So what I want for my business in my life is not necessarily what you want for your business in your life. So don't look at the guys over there or the guys over there. Everybody's in a different season and a different place, and they have different values and priorities in life. Design your business to fit your life and not the other way around. So, like I said, I've been doing this. I started my business in 1997, knocking on doors. I know what it's like to beat the streets for business. I know what it's like to have to sell something so you can put food on the table for your family. I have been there. I built my business. We went all the way up to $13 million in revenue. And I wasn't happy because I knew I could do more, but more than anything, I didn't have peace of mind. And I wasn't sleeping well at night because I felt like things were fragile. I felt like my clients weren't getting what they deserved. I felt like my employees weren't getting what they deserved. And I didn't think that I was getting what I wanted out of my business as well. So I went through a radical transformation. I like to say I remodeled my business. I stripped the drywall and the floor, knocked out some walls, and completely redid everything. And today, life is so much better. Life is so much better. So, and there's questions. It's okay to say, hey, did I get in the right business? Did I pick the wrong business? Or we tell ourselves excuses like, hey, it's just always going to be this way. It's always going to be this way. It's just not going to be any better. That's just the way it is. Can't trust anybody. Everybody's trying to rip you off. And look at those guys. Look at those guys at the lift off. Well, those are the lucky guys. They all got lucky. I hope you're not thinking those things, friends. I want to ask you a question. And you can drop a thumbs up or a thumbs down to answer this. Is your business making your life better? Thumbs up. Or worse? Thumbs down. Which is it? Okay, we got a thumbs up. That's good. Thumbs up. Got a lot of thumbs up. Okay, that's great. That is great. Oh yeah, got a lot of thumbs up there. All right, fantastic. Fantastic. That is the way that it should be. So let me ask you guys a second question. If your business suddenly doubled in size, in revenue, the way things run now, would your headaches double? Would they increase by a factor of 10? Is it even possible to double your business without your headaches increasing? Think about it. Most people I talk to, they want to grow, but they're already in this whirlwind. They're already, constantly on their phone. Oh, hold on just a minute. No matter when you're talking to them, they're out at dinner with their wife or their husband. Okay, a lot of women in this business. Shh, way to go. I have 4 daughters, by the way. So I love to see women discovering their purpose and excelling in typically a man's industry. So I'm so proud of that. Can you get away from this thing? Can you put it down? Can you go on a date without it? Can you go on a vacation without it? How is your business designed? Is it fragile? Can it go on without you? So imagine this other one. What if 12 months from now, or some point in the near future, not too distant future, what if you were taking home twice as much money and your headaches cut in half? How would that be? That sounds pretty incredible, right? Less headaches, more money. I want to challenge you to see greater purpose in your life than just running your business. I talk to owners all the time, and this isn't just about painting contractors. This is small business in general. If you, I was just reading a comment there. Nestor says, every time I take a vacation, I lost a lot of traction. Exactly. It doesn't have to be that way, Nestor. The business owners, we get caught up in our business, and there's this, because a lot of times, a lot of you guys and gals started your business, so it's close to the heart, right? And we have a hard time creating this emotional detachment and making objective decisions about our business. And a lot of times we begin to get this syndrome. I don't even know what the name for this is, but we're in a small box and we can't see our life outside of our business. And I believe that every one of you listening have a purpose that is greater than your business, and that your business should exist to serve as a vehicle to fund your life's purpose. I'm going to say that again. Your business should serve as a vehicle to fund your life's purpose. Okay. You ought not to be a slave to your business. And in addition to that, a well-run business should not only provide you with time, money, and freedom, it should also provide you with peace of mind. That was the peace I was lacking back in the day. I would lay in bed, worried about, payroll, risk. Was this customer going to sue me? Was someone going to get hurt on the job? All of these different things. Do you worry about those things? Do you have worry associated with your business? As business owners, there's so many risks that we have that we do not have insurance for, right? There's so many risks. And what we say is the way to say that is, hey, we're personally underwriting that risk. Your employees aren't carrying that risk. You're carrying that risk. We need to stop playing chess, and we need to start playing. Ooh, did I say that backwards? I think I just totally made a huge mistake. No, we need to stop playing checkers and start playing chess. Think about that. The strategy is totally different. We need to stop thinking like, I like to talk about two different trees, okay? The first company I built and the first leadership team I built was like a willow tree. It grew fast, but it was also, what do we know about willow trees? They grow fast, the wood is soft, in the big storms, their branches break and they die and they don't live long. I didn't want a willow tree. I wanted to build an oak. An oak grows slow. The wood is nice and hard. The branches don't break when the big storms come. It can withstand droughts very well. Oaks grow slow, but they grow strong and they live a long time. That is the company that I wanted to build the second time around. And I want you to think about this because maybe you're on that path of building the willow. I want you to think about this. What type of business do you want to build? Maybe you want to, maybe you want to build a business and sell it. Or maybe you want to build a business and have it be left as a legacy to your kids. I mean, that was my game plan when we started our business. We've got 5 kids now, and that was our goal, was that at one point we were going to be able to hand this business off to one or more of our children as just a huge, amazing blessing, the way it's been a blessing in our lives. So I want to share with you what I call the Contractor Freedom Framework and some practical getting started steps. Friends, what we need to do in our business is we need to make things predictable, right? We want to have, what's a closing rate? When you talk about your sales closing rate, you're just trying to know hey, if my closing rate is 40% and I go get, 10 more leads, there's a good chance I'm going to close 4 of those and make it predictable. Well, you want to bring that same predictability really to every part of your business. And so we want our businesses to be predictable. We want to attract the right people. And so we have to systemize things. So I'm going to give you the SOS. This is the Contractor Freedom Framework. It's the SOS. Okay. Think about that shark cage going underwater over there. A life ring. I've got one right here. I'm going to show you. Right there. That's the SOS. The first S in SOS stands for self. Self. I'm going to tell you a few truths. Your company, my company, will never be better than you. Your company will never be better than you. And this is nothing more than the law of the lid from John Maxwell. If you guys follow John Maxwell, you should. If you don't, you should. Everything rises and falls on leadership. And if your company is on a fast-paced growth track and you are not on a fast-paced growth track as a leader, your company is going to become an untamed beast like a 6-year-old trying to walk a Great Dane dog who sees a little kitten to chase. It will drag you all around. It will drag you and make your life hell. Don't let the growth of your business outpace the growth of your own leadership and your own skills. So, if you want to be a great leader, a great business owner, then start doing the things that the great ones do. What do the great ones do? 1, they commit to personal growth. 2, they're people of integrity, people of values. They read, they attend seminars, have coaches and mentors. And hey, you guys have already taken the first step because you're on this call right now. Become a student of leadership. Become a student of people skills, business skills. And I want to tell you something super practical and super easy. I meet a lot of business owners who are running significant businesses that can't run spreadsheets. If you want to own the numbers of your company, don't rely on someone else to feed you the numbers. Don't have to wait on someone else. Did you know you can go on Google, you could go to udemy.com, type in, Google Sheets, beginner, intermediate training course. And you can get those for like less than $100. And you'll invest on 4 to 8 hours of time, and you'll come out of that with some skills, like that spreadsheet that Mike presented on the previous session. It was a great spreadsheet. Could you create a spreadsheet like that? It's not rocket science. Could you do it? You can, if you'll take the time to learn. Now, if you want your, Justin says, hey, ChatGPT, how do I do XYZ in Google Sheets? You can do that. But I would recommend taking a course and doing some walkthroughs, because there are numbers you need to know in your business that your CRM or your QuickBooks likely aren't telling you. You need to know all of the different numbers in your business, what they mean, why they're important, because each and every one of those is a leverage point for your business. So, if you want your company to be great, you need your company to start acting like a great company. So that's the first thing, is start with self and become a student. Become a student of people skills, of business skills, of leadership. And yes, get some spreadsheet skills if you don't have them. Get some spreadsheet skills if you don't have them. And a lot of people think, that leadership stuff, that's for later down the road. I'll worry about that later. Here's the problem. You go build your company, and then you've got a team of people, and you don't know how to lead them. You don't know how to be a good manager. And now you've got major people problems. And I want to tell you what, friends, people problems is like a cancer. It's a cancer. It will kill your company. It will start sucking. I know one guy that simply got out of the business because of the people. He just simply couldn't deal with the people anymore. It's because he didn't know how to deal with people. He didn't have people skills. And these are the soft skills. Hey, we know how to clean a spray rig. We know how to, batch paint, prep and spray and all that stuff. But we don't know how to work with people. One of the biggest wastes in your company, if you have employees, the biggest waste of money in your company is likely not the fact that you bought an extra gallon of paint that's custom tinted that you can't return. It's unproductive payroll dollars. Unproductive payroll dollars. So let's move on to the next letter. So the first S was start with self. The second letter is an O. O stands for others. So we've got self, and then we've got others. Others is about building a team. So It's unlikely, unless you've got a really small vision, and it's okay if you do, it's unlikely that you're going to be able to accomplish your vision without building a team of great people. So I have a question for us. Who does the painting at your company? Is it you? Is it you and others? Or is it others? You and others, or others? Let me know. I'd love to see. Okay. Michael says others, our teams, others. Okay, great. Myself and others, me, others. Okay, yeah. People. So who answers the phone at your company? You, others, you and others? Who runs the books at your company? You, others, you and others? Who delivers the promises that are made in the name of your company? Your customers. Are they houses? Are they buildings? Or are they people? You see, friends, all of these, we are in the people business. You're not in the painting business. Painting is just the widget that you deliver that solves the problem for the person who has the problem. You and I, we are in the people business. Now, once we realize that, we're like, wow, we need to get good at people skills. Let's see, people skills are going to help me when I hire. People skills are going to help me when I deal with unmet expectations with my employees. People skills are going to help me in my sales process. They're going to help me deliver customer satisfaction, and they're going to help me out of a jam when I messed up or my people messed up and the customer's very unhappy. People skills are going to help me negotiate better arrangements, more favorable terms with my vendors. People skills. It's just hard to measure people skills. You can measure sales. Hey, we sold, $100,000 this month. It's hard to measure people skills. I decided I'm one of these guys. I go all in on something. Okay. Now I had the, I'm going to say the luxury of doing this. When I came to the conclusion, the realization that people skills were so important, I went and got a certification in behavioral studies. I got a second one. I got a third one. I got a fourth one. I got a fifth one. And now I'm on my sixth one. You guys don't need to do what I did and go crazy with it. Okay. But you need to become a student of people skills. If you're going to build this company, if you're going to build a team of people, and see, friends, when you have the right people on your team, they do the right thing when you're not looking. When you have the right people, you need less rules. I'm going to say that one again. When you have the right people, you need less rules. If you find yourself constantly trying to make a rule, oh, we can't do this, oh, we can't do that, you might just have the wrong people. But let's back up for a second. You can start with the right person, but if you're a bad leader without integrity or cracks in your integrity, maybe your employees see you cheating the system, pocketing cash so you don't have to pay taxes on it, adding a little water to the paint, cheating people out of their pay. Those are some pretty crazy accusations, but those kind of things go on. We tell ourselves little lies. We tell ourselves little lies that it's okay. But now we go do those little things, and now our employees, how are they looking at us? Would think about if what would it take for you to really be hurt and for your spouse to take a step down in the respect you had for them? What if they said, you found out that they were texting back and forth with an old boyfriend or girlfriend? Would that be a big deal? They didn't actually do anything, right? But that would feel like cheating, wouldn't it? What are your employees seeing from you? Are you a person of integrity? Are you the type of person that great people want to follow? That's a real tough question, friends. And look, maybe you do a little self-assessment and you're like, wow, man, I need to clean it up. I need to clean it up. I'm going to say this. This is a hard pill to swallow. I can say this in the mirror to myself, and I can say this confidently to you. You have the company that you've earned. You have the company that you deserve. And if you don't like what you have, it all starts with you. Back to the first S, self. We want to build a great team of people that can do the job, that will do the job, and that fit our culture. So here's one of the beautiful things, friends, about people and people skills. Okay. One of the early mistakes I made is I made the mistake that every person I hired was going to work with the same speed and intensity as me. This is before I got my people skills. And I would get really upset when people wouldn't work with my speed and intensity. But as I became self-aware, that speed and that intensity, that comes with some drawbacks. I miss some details. I forget some things. I fail to fill in the blanks. I need people different than me on my team. And you need people different than you on your team. I'm fast. I've got a lot of energy. I work with intensity, but you know what I need? I need some slower paced people on my team. People that process their thinking. People that are constantly finding the fault. Where could this go wrong? They're constantly analyzing risk. You need those on your team. So here's the beauty about people skills. People are different, and it took me a long time to realize that people are different, and that's okay. Could you imagine having a football team where every person on the team was the kicker? Or every person on the team was the quarterback? Would that team ever win a single game? No. You need a diversity of skills. And you on your team and me, we need a diversity of personality styles and skills on our teams. People are different. Now, here's the beautiful part of it. They're also very predictable. Back in the day, I'm just flooding through my mind, all of the first hires that I made. I hired people because this person had a brother-in-law who was out of work and he was available and I was covered up and I needed someone. I had this person over here who was a friend at church, and I ended up with people that were either A, the wrong people for my team, or B, they're in a role that they're absolutely not made for. I did that. I made all these mistakes, and then it blew up eventually because they're not performing up to my expectations. And then then the employment relationship is broken. And sometimes even the relationship was broken if they were, friends or family. And I don't blame them. Looking back, I don't blame them for that. I blame me because I put someone in the wrong seat. I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know what I needed. Now I know that people are predictable. And one of the best tools that you can use is simply a behavioral assessment. It's called a DISC assessment. If you guys have probably heard of DISC assessments. Now you need to learn how to read them and you need to know how to use them. Okay, but they help bring some predictability, not only to your hiring, but they help bring some predictability to the way when you're managing people, when you're dealing with conflict resolution. Should I promote this person? Wow, man, this is my best painter. Maybe this painter should be the manager or be the crew lead. Well, friends, being the leader and being the best painter are two different skill sets. Two completely different skill sets. And that's a common mistake that business owners, they even do it in corporate, they take their top performer and they promote them. Knowing how to determine who's going to be good at what brings some very important predictability. So, backing up a little bit, something, if you hear me online much, you're going to hear me say this all the time. Trust is the currency of business. You've got to be a leader people can trust. You need a vision. Again, when we're just starting, my first vision was this. Hey guys, man, I've got all these leads. Y'all want to make a lot of money? Come on. You know what I got? I got a bunch of selfish people who only cared about themselves. We need people that share our values. Oh, if we need shared values, we better possibly figure out what our values are. What are your values? Have you written your values down? Do you consider your values when you hire people? Do you celebrate people that live out your company's values? Do you correct them when they violate your company values? Having written values is fine. And now at the end, I'm going to give you a link. If you guys hang around to the end, I'll share a link with you, and I'll provide you resources on how to get started drafting your company values. And the other piece of that is your vision. Where's your company going? Why should I come to work for you? What am I going to get? A paycheck? Dirty hands? What am I going to get? We need a compelling vision that people say, wow, man, I want to work for that company. I believe the leader of that company is a person of integrity, and they've got a vision. They want to be the blah, blah, blah. And I can see myself being on that team for a long time. There's opportunity. I'm telling you, friends, it's powerful. Building a team of people and guarding your culture. If you've got a top performer and they're toxic, you got to cut the cord. You got to drop anchor. You got to let them go. You need to have a thriving culture, because your culture, it's this invisible force, and it's either building your company or it's tearing it down. Culture is an invisible force. I don't care if you've got a team of 3 people or a team of 300 people. Culture is important. So when you have someone that believes in you and your company's vision, they share your values, and you place them in a role that is, they love doing what they do. They get fulfillment in doing what they do. The challenges that job presents are challenges that they love to face. Then you're going to find that you have a team of people that work harder, with more intensity, with more care, maybe more hours, and they get a lot more done. And your payroll dollar gets you a lot in return, because they are doing something that is they're attracted to instead of repelled from. Matching, we hear this term all that. We got to get the right people on the bus. So we got to get the right people in the right seats, from, Jim Collins, Good to Great. Many of you guys have read that book. It's absolutely true. What is the right people? What's the right seat? Learning about behavioral styles can really, really help you. But what do people need? They need a leader that they can believe in. They need a future of growth and hope. They need to be able to use their skills for a worthwhile purpose. They need a clear picture of what does success look like. A lot of times we bring people on and we're like, hey, we're going to pay you this amount of money and we want you to do X, Y, and Z. Okay, but we don't give them a picture of what the success in X, Y, and Z looks like. Whether that's a job site, whether that's a warehouse, whether that's a sales call, we don't give people the clarity. We don't give them something to shoot for, clear something to shoot for. You would be surprised at how many people that I meet that are running significant companies that do not have their goals written down. They don't have clear goals for their people. It's like, hey, just work hard, try hard, sell a lot. It's not going to work. If you want repeatability, predictability, scalability, peace of mind in your company, we've got to do these things. We've got to align compensation with results. If you want to go get those 5-star reviews, why not compensate and reward the people that get them? You can't go compensating. You can't go compensating your customer for giving you a review. Google will trash you really quick if you get caught doing that. But you can certainly reward your people for delivering stellar service as evidenced by a 5-star review. You can do that. Reward them for a job well done. Praise them. Make sure their paychecks reflect that. I'm going to move along. The second S. So we've got self, others, and here's the last piece: systems. Systems. Again, when you're small, most of your systems, or if all of your systems, they're right here in your brain. They're not written down. And when you get a few people around you, you can effectively train people with word of mouth and on-the-job training. But as your team begins to grow, if you haven't taken the time to write those processes down, and again, we're not like talking writing a book. We're talking a simple checklist. Hey, when you arrive at the job site, here's the first 10 things you do. You're going to park on the right side of the street. You're going to make sure your vehicle doesn't drip oil. You're going to put a yard sign in. You're going to walk up to the front door, knock on the door. Here's how you're going to greet the customer. Just make it so simple, because what happens is if you don't have that, now you get really busy and you need to hire another person. In that moment, you don't have the time to sit down and make that happen. So take some time now and just take 1 or 2 processes and just write them down, or assign someone to write it down. And the byproduct of that is now you get a company of a team of people that are accustomed to following process. It's very, very important to have your processes written, rehearsed, repeated, and reviewed. We call that the 4 R's, although written is not an R. Written, rehearsed, repeated, and reviewed. Do you guys have any questions for me? I've got so much more we could talk about, but we've only got just a few minutes left. And
you're doing great on time, Jason. And I just want to interject, man. I knew this would be powerful, and it was, man. I was glued the whole time. And let's bring in some questions, guys, for Jason. I'm going to let you field them, Jason. I'm just going to pop out. So can you, if you want to hit that Q&A at the bottom, Jason, of course, you can see the chat as well. So do you see that on your side, just to make sure?
Yes, I do. Right here. Oh, all right. Gotcha.
So, yep. And if I see anyone raise their hand, guys, remember, if you raise your hand using that little button at the bottom of your thing, you can get on with Jason through audio, which is more impactful, and you'll get a much more tailored experience to your specific situation. So take it away, Jason.
Thanks, Tanner. Okay. Spencer asked, what does your company vision look like? That's a great question, Spencer. My company vision is to be the most trusted home improvement company in the state of Texas. I believe that trust is the currency of business. And so we have a vision, mission, and values statement. And our mission is to cultivate exceptional leaders who will deliver remarkable experiences to our clients. And we value faith, people, teamwork, and the pursuit of excellence. And that vision, mission, and values is constantly reiterated in our hiring, in our weekly meetings, our quarterly meetings, because we don't want it to be just something, hey, it's up there on the wall. Hey, there's our mission vision over there. Or, hey, it's down here in this drawer. I need everybody on my team. I actually created a quiz, and it's a slide, and I'm like, okay, who can fill in blank number 1? Okay, good job. Blank number 2. It's in a presentation, and I start every team meeting with it because I need those to be constantly reviewed. And when I wrote down our vision and our mission and our values, it really gave clarity to the team. And it's like this. It's like a magnet. it's like a magnet that draws the right people to your team. And, on the flip side of the coin, it repels the wrong type of people. So to me, I believe that trust is the currency of business. And honestly, I believe that trust is the currency of the foundation of all relationships and leadership. And really that word trust is pretty much synonymous with the word faith. And I get my values right from the Bible. So our company values are faith, people, teamwork, and the pursuit of excellence. So if you guys, if you go to my personal website, it's contractorfreedom.live, contractorfreedom.live. If you'll go there, I've got a lot of resources there. You can download a vision worksheet. You can download a delegation toolkit. There's links to our podcast. There's links to register for our summit that we're having in Dallas in person this fall. There's some recommended books that I recommend. There's all kinds of stuff. And matter of fact, we do our SOPs in an app called Trainual, and there's even a link on there for that as well. So if you guys want to get started with that, just contractorfreedom.live. I guess I could post it right here. It's contractorfreedom. If I could type it right, live. There you go. Contractorfreedom.live. And so all the resources are right there. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Johnny says, why is it so hard investing money in marketing? Well, it was never hard for me. I haven't had to deal with that because from day one, I committed 10% of my revenue to marketing. And to this day, that's still the way we run things. That's my whole marketing. That's not just my ads, but that's the people as well on my team. So, but what you could do is you could carve out, like Mike said, start with 5%. Just start putting 5% away, investing it into marketing. Okay, let's see here. Lonnie says, what do you do when leadership doesn't want to instill these systems and processes and stating that they're too busy to do so? Okay, so Lonnie, that is a great question. So if I would, my rebuttal to that would be your job as a leader. And I'm going to quote this right from The E-Myth by Michael Gerber, which I'm sure many of you guys have read. The job of the manager is to invent the systems through which the owner's vision is faithfully and consistently manifested at the operating level of the company. Creating these systems is absolutely fundamental to the job of management. And if you can't do that, I mean, you have to say this more gingerly. I mean, it depends on your relationship with that leader. That's your job. And if you're too busy to do that, what are we going to do? You're either going to have to work late, you're going to have to delegate, simplify, delete something. Because so here's what I tell people, my leaders. Imagine that your job is like a tree, okay? Above the ground is the trunk and the branches and the fruits. The fruits are the sales, the leads, the gross profit margin. Below the ground is the people development, the systems development. It's the roots. I don't want you just to go get a fruit for today. I want you to ensure that we have healthy fruits next year and for years to come. And the only way that that's going to become a reality is if we make the roots of our tree healthy. And if that's not part of your job and you're not willing to commit to having that done, then this isn't going to work out. That's just the way it is. And Tanner, I'll take one more. Looks like 2 minutes, and feel free to interrupt me. Okay.
Yeah, man, go ahead.
Darwin says, how do I start training my people when I'm doing estimates and color consultation? Okay, so look, we can't do everything in business at once. And when our business is smaller, we're wearing so many different hats. We're trying to do so many things. I would suggest starting with either the thing that's causing you the most headaches, or B, the thing that you have to take time training repeatedly, okay? And just sit down with a blank sheet of paper and just say, hey, what does someone need to know how to do this? And write it down, put it in a manual. It could be the only sheet of paper in that manual. This is our manual, and here's the XYZ process. And every time you encounter a problem, just start writing it down and start referring back to the, hey, I'm going to show you how to do this process. Can you run this process? Can you make sure? Can you break it? Is there an error in it? Okay, every time we do this process, every time there's a problem, we're going to come back and I'm going to see, was this process followed? So I would just start setting clear expectations and creating those processes and teach your team how to make those processes. It just means, we've got to slow down a little bit. We got to make a little elbow room in our schedule so we can create these processes and then train people to the processes. Okay, and it's 11:30, guys. My time is up. Man, thank you guys for all the thumbs up on the questions I was asking and the questions you asked. I wish I had more time, but you guys are amazing. Tanner, thanks so much for letting me share here today.
Absolutely, Jason. As always, man, a pleasure. You did a great job, man. And again, just to remind everyone, these are recorded. They'll be on the Contractor Secrets podcast. So if you were kind of just zoning in and listening in and you felt like you missed a few things, don't worry. It's on the Contractor Secrets podcast. Jason, thanks again, man, for your service today and spreading some love, man, and helping us understand some of the deeper intricacies of business.